Hello, spiritual family. Welcome in to Don Williams Tarot. I hope this message finds you well. As you can see, I do have a little bit of a different background. I record my videos on Zoom and then I upload them to YouTube. Well, I've been using Zoom for years and I never knew it had these backgrounds on there. As I was sitting down to do my meditation today, as to what we were going to do, because Spirit keeps saying that everything feels really heavy, so we need to have a little bit more playtime. So I'm thinking, okay, well, how can we be more playful, right? So anyway, as I sat down and I loaded everything up to start your reading, Spirit just said, well, click this button. And I'm thinking, well, okay, why? And then I found this background. So, yes, I live in the desert. So, this is appropriate. You can see the birds flying up there in the corner. Today, I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for you, as was guided to in my previous meditations, to do some quick videos for you each day as to the general energies of what we are feeling, what we're manifesting, what we're creating, what are we hitting, like what are the heavier energies that we're creating. I will say that this morning, I did realize that we had some 3M class flares, uh, some either during the night or towards the beginning of my morning. So I'm on the West Coast, not really on the West Coast, but I'm in Arizona time. But this morning, and I could tell you, I really have felt them. It's so weird how your body starts becoming acclimated when you're realizing what it is that you're being hit with. So anyway, I'm going to pull some cards for you today. One of the things that Spirit did want me to do is pull cards for you, from the Magical Mermaid and Dolphins book. Now, I have had this deck since like 2003 or 4. I don't know. I've had it for a really long time. It's one of my favorites, along with Doreen Virtue's Archangel deck as well. So anyway, we're going to pull some cards at the end. So right now I have shuffled, just so you know. I'm going to split the deck so you can see me splitting. So I'm not stacking the deck in any way. It's not my intention to deceive. So there we go. Here we go. So here's our cards for today as to what Spirit wants us to be aware of and our focus. Ooh, Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is that kind of card of stealth, right? This card is also my card of lying, cheating, stealing. So that energy may be around us, or this is a situation where we may be realizing and recognizing that there is a lot of lying, cheating, stealing going on in the collective, right? So we'll see what else Spirit wants us to know. So when you're looking at the Seven of Swords, sevens are about gaining experience of some kind, utilizing your existing experience. The swords energy is the energy of your thoughts, your words. So for me, it feels as though everybody is, as this is kind of the energy for the day, it may be that some people are just feeling very leery, like they're not really believing anything, anyone. They're really kind of assessing, where am I in the big grand scheme of things? And what do I need to do to protect me, protect my space, protect what is going on around me, those people around me? So you may be feeling as though you're pulling yourself back a little bit so you can assess better. The other thing is it feels really important for you to be able to really gauge those people around you so that you can protect yourself from anything coming in that is going to sabotage you, hurt you in some way, something along those lines. Not to be fear porn at all. It's just a good practice anyway, just to be aware of your surroundings. especially ladies, if you are going out at night, if you're going to school, taking night classes, any of those things, please do the buddy system. If you gas up your car during the day, during daylight hours. I mean, even then, with all the crazy stuff that we're seeing that's out there, the attacks that are happening, there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on. So just be aware of that. Now, what is your next steps is this King of Wands. Now, my King of Wands is my entrepreneur. Kings are typically about knowledge and having a lot of knowledge. This particular king is, like I said, he is my entrepreneur. He is the one that likes to get things done. He's an action oriented individual, very warm, very caring, very charismatic. The other thing about this king is he knows how to motivate people. He knows how to get people to work with him in order to accomplish goals. He is also quite courageous. I think I just made up a word. But the other thing too is he does have the lion there, right? So that is that courage that is behind him. He has this gentle courage. The thing about him is that he is a man of many talents. So there are a lot of things about him that you may never know. Like he might be, at one portion in his life, he might be like a Green Beret badass kind of killer kind of guy because he went into the military and that was his job. So and it isn't something that he really talks a lot about. So I'm just saying, using that as an example, like how many people do you know that were in the military and that, that was what they were trained to do, was to go in and, do their missions or whatever. So what I'm basically saying here is that this person does have a lot of history, has a lot of knowledge for you. This could be somebody that's coming in and influencing you in a way. This could be a mentor for you. This could be someone in your family. This is somebody that's going to come in and is going to spark something within you to get something done today. So it could be a boss, could be somebody you work with, could be your, significant other, whatever it may be. Now, the other thing that's coming in right now that is blocked or is there is a barrier here is the Two of Cups. So it feels as though I have to read this card upside down because it is in the barrier's position. Now, typically, this is my soulmate card. For me, what this is telling me is that some of us may not really be communicating very well with our higher self, or we're not driving down that energy from our higher self that is helping us navigate day to day. And one of the things that spirit is really saying is now is those times where you really want to start really making those connections for yourself. You want to bring in your higher self. You want to operate from that higher aspect of your soul, right? Your goal is to work from that side and balance it out with that ego side of you, which is why there is this too, right? It is that blending of that energy. And right now, I don't feel as though many of us are doing that, or that many of us, we get lost in our day because it's the day to day grind, whatever it may be. But what really is coming in is that solid connection. You really want to make that solid connection every morning before you leave your house, that you're going to operate from this higher principle of who you really are, bringing in your sovereignty, bringing in your higher knowledge, and just really integrating that within your day-to-day practice. Okay. Nothing that can't be overcome, nothing that it's just an awareness that you might not be doing that little exercise every day before you. It's kind of like putting on your shoes, right? That's the way I look at it. I look at making that connection as one of the very first things that I do in the morning. And, it's funny because the first thing I say when I wake up, I live alone. So the first thing I say is, good morning, spirit, right? Good morning, higher self. So just something to be aware of. Now, your strengths have to do with the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands to me is this gateway. There is a gateway here. This is the 1111. Doesn't matter what deck I use, I always feel this energy exactly the same. And what this is really saying is there are celebrations. There are celebrations of us as we're progressing on our spiritual path. that is coming in that we can celebrate with one another. It could be that you're making some type of a milestone, thing to be proud of, like maybe you've completed something that you have been working on for a long time, or maybe you are working on clearing some of your, deeper, darkest issues that you haven't been able to look at. And now you're strong enough to do that. You're in a safe space. You're in a safe relationship. You are in a place where you're healed. Like you're really, really starting to make some big improvements in your healing space. This is also my card of marriage, or that commitment of marriage. Doesn't mean that you have to be in that type of relationship to have that level of commitment. This can still come from your heart. This has to do with loyalty and trust and those things. And having people recognize and realize that if you give your word is everything. But at the same time, this is quite a playful card for me, because this is allowing us to be more playful, to bring in that playful side of ourselves, to really allow ourselves to have fun and to enjoy our life. And I really feel as though this is a strength for us, because when we allow ourselves to do those things, we actually bring in that vibration of joy and happiness, and it is effective, right? It's like a ripple effect, right? It just goes out, and it touches everybody around you. Your final card here for today is the Wheel of Fortune. I love this card because that means that even though we might have started out this card with thoughts or feelings or recognizing or allowing our minds to go into this lying, cheating, stealing type of a thing. I mean, you can just look at the elections to see how much division there is in almost everywhere, right? Because France just had their elections, the UK just had their elections. So there's a lot of this energy of not trusting even each other, and spirit is really kind of saddened by that. I'm kind of saddened by that. Like what has happened to us as a species, right? That we can't even trust one another because everybody is out for themselves instead of wanting to help one another, right? But what this is saying is that better times are coming. This is definitely a lucky break is coming in. We will be, that whole energy will shift, right? And recognizing that you can be on the top of your world at any time. You just have to decide that that's the energy you're going to exude. That's the energy you are going to work towards. And this is definitely one of those times where you say, where I put my focus is where what I'm bringing in, what I am creating in the universe. So definitely like look at yourself in this lucky way. Really have some gratitude for the things that you have, the people in your life, the love that is there. If you're focusing on the positives, you bring more positive. It opens up that window of allowing more positives to come in. So that right there is kind of the reading for today. It's nothing really heavy. It's just kind of one of those things, just a reminder to really start working through your higher self as much as you possibly can. A lot of times when I'm faced with difficult decisions and I can't decide things, I will always ask on my higher self for that guidance. And I might not get an answer right away. So you have to be patient, right? Because spirit works in their own timing, and it isn't the same as our timing that is created here on this 3D earth plane. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple of cards from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins to finalize this reading, and we will ask, what do we need to know as our highest and best outcome? What insights, what guidance should we focus on as a closing for this reading for today, please, Spirit? Okay, here we go. Split the deck. When I was first learning how to read cards, I used this deck and the angel cards, and they were oracle cards and were not tarot. But I would pull a card for myself every single day. So I love the energy of these. So it's talking about your healing heart. You're a powerful healer. Keep up the great work. I love that. And that's the thing, right? We heal one another, like we really do. The other thing about healing and the healing energy, if you go outside and you take off your shoes and stand in the grass, stand in the dirt, whatever, have your feet touching Mother Earth, immediate. I'm not even talking. It's like an immediate reaction. Your body responds because we wear shoes with rubber on the bottom. We are not grounded. This really helps with grounding, this practice, but it also helps bring in, there's this electric charge and they call it something, and I'm not really good with descriptors like that. But you know what I mean. You can feel it, right? So, especially like if you stand on the beach and you allow the water to rush in on your feet, right? It's this beautiful electrical charge that recharges your whole body. So that would be a really good, simple thing. You only have to do it for a short period of time, and you would be shocked at how well you will feel. Not sure why I had to say that, but that was the message. Self forgiveness, let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. I actually really like this card. Self forgiveness is really big. I was picking that up yesterday as well, even for myself. Self forgiveness is key because you can forgive everybody out there that did their part to you, but then you also have to forgive yourself for playing your side of the part, right? So let's say somebody comes in and hurts you, and you have to ask yourself, well, why did that happen? How did that happen? How come I didn't see it, right? Well, it was a lesson for one, but at the same time, it's that energy of self forgiveness for allowing yourself to be duped or allow yourself to have had that lying, cheating, stealing energy around you, right? But good times are coming. But remember to forgive yourself if you feel as though that would be a step forward for you. And then the last card is rest. You've been working hard, take a nap and get some rest. I love this because I don't know about you, but I feel as though I could just do that so easily. So for me, that is kind of that rest card is kind of that four of spades energy where the person is lying prone. And it feels as though that's what this is saying is that we need to take uh, really good care of ourselves right now. We are in a very powerful place as beings in these meat suits, but it feels as though what spirit is really saying is that good times are coming. There will be celebrations. You do need to make that integration with your higher self and operate from that area as much as you possibly can, balancing your spiritual side with the ego side so that you can tell the difference when your ego is trying to sabotage you or trying to tell you things about yourself that are not necessarily true, right? And you will know the difference if you start working with that energy. Healing hearts here, self forgiveness, and rest. What a beautiful message. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will be back with you tomorrow. Also, I am doing a live tonight. So if you are interested in coming in and asking a question, please join me 7 p.m. Arizona time. Cheers.